You said yes to your life's purpose as a man. You felt the fire, the clarity, the calling, but now it feels heavy, like no one sees you, like you're giving everything and getting nothing in return. You've sacrificed, you've stretched, you've shown up when no one even clapped. And secretly, you're wondering if it's even worth it anymore. No, you're not lazy, you're not ungrateful, you're just tired of holding the tension without a reward. And brother, that's exactly where most men eject and quit. This is the phase no one talks about, the quiet war between your old life and the future self that you're stepping into, where everything you want says, quit now. But something deeper says, hold the line. This video is for that very moment, the moment where your purpose feels like a burden. And when you think about walking away, this video is designed for you. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why every man hits this exact phase and how to walk through it with power and not pity. You'll leave with tools that will keep you going even when it feels like nothing is working. Because your purpose isn't always pretty, but it's always holy. And the man who refuses to quit becomes the man who gets the crown. My name is Soleil Rad. I'm a trainer, a coach, a facilitator, and a leader in masculinity when it comes to purpose and playfulness. And my goal is to help you step forward when times get uncertain. You see, brother, very few of us know people who have walked the path of purpose. In fact, most of our family members tell us to get a regular job, to play it safe, to don't take big risks. But it's men who take those big risks who get the big rewards. And yet these men are the men who are walking the path alone. This course is designed for those of you who are walking a path that your friends and family members never have. Whether you're breaking old family traumas, starting a whole new business, or stepping into a field of uncertainty that no one around you quite understands, I'm here to tell you that I understand. I'm a man who's been walking purpose for the last 5 years, and let me tell you, it's one of the scariest things I've ever experienced in my life. Purpose is a place of intention. It's a place where you have a vision, a goal, a dream that no one around you has ever accomplished. And it's on you to get the internal energy, the bandwidth, and the grit to step forward in the field of the unknown. I'll give you a story. There is a bridge that a man once walked. This bridge only shows the next step once the step has been taken. Every step the man takes, he has no idea whether his foot is going to land on a surface or whether he's going to dive off to his own death. And yet he walks with faith. He walks with conviction. And when no one around him can see whether he's scared, whether he can make it for the next step, he draws upon his faith. He draws upon his own internal knowing that every step he takes is holy. What does it mean to take holy steps? Well, you might have heard people in history who were holy people, guys like Jesus and Moses, guys who did things that most human beings never imagined was possible. And no, this is not a religious channel. It's a channel based on faith. It's a channel based on knowing that you are able to walk a path that your friends and family have no clue how to help you navigate. And it all starts with vision. So if you have a pen and paper, I want you to write this down. The first step in your purpose is having a vision. What does it mean to have a vision? It means that you get to sit and see beyond where you currently are. It's being able to have a glimpse of the future. Whether this glimpse is precise or accurate does not matter at this point. It's a vision of you knowing what is possible for yourself. Whether it's associated with your career, whether it's associated with finding the woman of your dreams or creating a change in the world that is impactful at global stages. This vision is given only to you, and it's your divine path. And it only starts when you spend time in reflection. We call this prayer. Prayer is not sitting and begging the old white man in the sky. It is you as a man sitting and asking yourself in a sacred space with no distractions, what is it that I truly desire? And at first, basic answers will come to you. Answers like, well, I desire a nice car, a big home, a gorgeous woman. Okay, I got that. That's easy. I'm asking you to go miles and miles deeper. Beyond that, what is it that you really desire? And when you ask yourself this question, beyond the surface level of house and car and vacation, what you'll start to discover is certain callings that are there that you will see and hear. When you start to recognize that your life's mission, your purpose, is beyond just human belongings, you start to recognize that you have a mission on this earth, that there's a reason that you were brought here. And at first, it might look a little blurry. At first, it might look like, wait, what? How? How is that even possible? This is the beginning stage of your life's purpose. It starts with a vision. And the vision is usually blurry at first. And the more you start to step into the vision, the more refined, clear, and vivid it becomes. Step one is vision. And as you stand in your vision, I want you to start to think about, okay, what can this become? Can I use my imagination and allow my imagination to guide me to the highest level of possibility in what I am seeing? This is not a place to play safe. This is not a place to play conservative. This is a place to imagine. And after your vision has started to form just a little bit, again, you don't need 20/20 vision. The next step is for you to create clarity in your life. I want you to write that down. Clarity. You see, most men have so much junk and so much pollution in their field that they cannot see beyond the close distance. And for you to have long-term vision, long-term success, and long-term prosperity, the first thing you'll need to do is you need to start getting rid of clutter. What is clutter? Clutter are the old identities that you carry with you that you've had for years. Clutter are the old friendships that no longer serve you. The friends that used to be great to be friends with, but now they're obsolete. Clutter is associated with any relationships, any jobs, any burdens, any obligations that you're carrying from the past that no longer resonate with who you are. And look, you've been growing as a man. You've been changing, transforming, and it's so common for men to carry their past with them. And this past that you carry is usually heavy weights. It's not a space of possibility. The way I like to describe it is, what in your life needs to retire that is no longer in alignment with your current values? What in your life needs to be retired that no longer resonates with your current value system? It is so common that we have a change in value system, a growth, an up-leveling in our bodies, in our work, in our relationships, and many of us men have a loyalty to the baggage that we carry from the past. So can you let that go? Can you declutter your field? Can you open the field of possibility so that you are no longer attached to the old identities that you used to carry? And in this field, you start to see magic. In this field, when you clear the atmosphere, you're actually able to receive new signals. Signals that might not be absolutely clear, but they're new. And these signals would never be possible in the old cluttered version of you, the version that was playing in the field of safety by carrying old friends, old obligations, and old identities. This experience is literally like having an ego death. An ego death is when you're actually letting go of identifying with past parts of yourself. And in that death, it is so scary. Why is it scary? It's scary because the very identities that you cling onto today are security and safety measures. And if you were to get rid of them, who are you? What safety do you have? It's literally like tearing off an entire mask and exposing yourself to nothingness. And brother, in that nothingness is where all possibility exists. You have your vision, you open the space of clarity, you're no longer polluted with booty calls, hookups, old friendships, and now you're saying to yourself, God, possibility, show me what is available to me here from a space of non attachment. Then you enter phase 3. Phase 3 is when you're starting to see some signals. These signals are usually not clear and perfect. They're usually not depicted by long descriptive letters that explain to you how this thing works, what it's about. They're just glimpses into the field of possibility. And as you walk your purpose and your path as a man, there are signals that will come in. Unfortunately, many guys are so preoccupied with nonsense, with distractions, with booty calls, with social media, that when the signals come in, it's just another sign amongst many. So as you hold a clear space of possibility, there are signals that'll come. And in this phase 3, your job is to take inspired action. I want you to say inspired action. What does it mean to take inspired action? It means that you don't have all the details, you don't have all the information, but you see a sign and you're willing to take a leap of faith. A leap of faith. This is when you don't have full assurance, when you don't have full clarity, but you're starting to trust your intuition. You're starting to say, wait a second, this could be a sign for this next chapter of my life. And now that I've let go of the previous identities that I was clinging on to, I'm able to detect these signals that pop up. Here is where courage comes in. Are you willing to pay more attention? Are you willing to lean in to the signals? Or are you just waiting for clear, perfect instructions before you take action? So the inspired action phase of your life's purpose is when you're just taking steps towards signals that are not super clear yet, but they're new signals in your life. And then you go to level 4. Level 4 is when the signals start to become louder. What's happened by this time is you've been following a path and the noises, the sounds are getting louder. You've decluttered and you're starting to hear certain signs and you're starting to see the signs. You're like, wait a second, something is happening here. This is a new paradigm I'm stepping into. There are new characters walking in. What do I do now? This is a new place. I've never been here before. No one has an instruction manual in this phase. This, my brother, is where courage and determination comes in. Step 4, courage and determination. This is where you get to rely more and more on your instincts. This is where you get to better understand discernment. Are these signals just random, or are they a pattern of information that is meant to be given to you by God, the field of possibility? And in this place, most men eject. This is where guys get scared because they look around, they're asking their parents, they're asking their friends, their mentors, and no one has the answer. This path of purpose is designed. It's designed for men who are risk takers. This path is not designed for people who are consensus builders. It's not designed for the person who is a student. This is designed for the master. And as a master, every step you take reveals the next blessing. So when it comes to courage and determination, you're starting to understand, wow, my instincts are the only thing I can rely on. My intellect does not give me the answers that I need. I cannot Google the answer to this circumstance that I'm in. So am I willing to take a leap of faith using just what God has given me? My body, my intuition, my connection with my emotions. And this here, brothers, is why it is so important for you to have emotional intelligence. If your emotional intelligence is only as articulate as I'm feeling good or I'm feeling bad, if it's only as articulate as I'm fine or I'm not fine, these are not, descriptive signs for you. And the more you start to learn how to identify your emotions as descriptively as possible, as precisely as possible, you can start to realize, whoa, in this moment, I'm feeling sad. That's different than when I'm feeling scared. It's different than when I'm feeling angry. It's different than when I'm feeling shy. And as you start to recognize and be able to identify your emotions, you're able to use the emotions to navigate in areas and paradigms that your brain has no idea, no blueprint, no advice for you. This is why women rely on their intuition. As men, we need to develop our intuition so that we can navigate the circumstances that our mind cannot comprehend. And if you're a man who's walking a path of purpose and purposefulness, it is ultimately your responsibility to become highly aware and sensitized around your emotions. Now, when I say sensitized, I don't mean becoming a sensitive, effeminate person who is constantly, paralyzed. No. I'm talking about sensitizing, increasing your senses so that you're able to detect even the minute amount of changes that happen inside of your emotional system. And in an extreme scenario, we see men who are desensitized. Think about these guys that go through war. They're in the military. They're desensitized. Their emotions are not connected to them. And so they can create mass damage in their families, in their finances, and their nervous system is numb to the emotional experience. And this is why they can go too far. And for you as a man who is navigating purpose in a way that is divinely intelligent, that is divinely guided, it is important for you to become more sensitized and not more dim. This is why our men's community is designed to help you learn about your emotions, to be able to understand them and articulate them to the people around you without having to snap, without fighting or flighting and causing damage. You want to learn what's happening inside at a surgical level and be able to express it to others so that you're able to influence them. How important is that for you? Join us in our Men of Means community. We have tons of educational programs to help men become more sensitized and become more aware, more intuitive around their path, around their business, and around their family. So, in this field of courage and determination, it's on you to start to navigate and make shifts and adjust based on what you understand from within, not what you read in a book on a podcast. Because no podcast host, including myself, can ever tell you what to do in any one circumstance when you've never been in that situation before. Especially for those of you who are mavericks, who are game changers, who are world changers. You're going to be stepping into fields where no one stepped into. Nobody has a playbook. So ultimately important to have the courage to make choices based on your internal guidance system. Here's the next step: penetration. On your path of purpose, you will get to a period or a point where the signs are becoming really loud. The signals, you're like, check, 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 everything's checking out. Okay, this sounds pretty safe to do it. I'm going to take the massive leap of faith. I'm going to go in all the way. What am I going to do? Penetrate. Penetration is all about entering a field with full conviction. Can you go hard when you get enough signs? Or are you waiting for more and more and more signs? There was a study done by the Harvard Business Review, and it researched men of different career paths. And it found that men who were engineers and accountants were the worst investors and the worst business managers amongst all careers. And it found that men who were small business owners or attorneys that were in the field of settling lawsuits, and attorneys who were, small business attorneys, they were some of the best business owners. They made the best business choices. Why? And it is said, based on Harvard's research, that men who are in the space of analysis for too long, they're paralyzed. And any successful business owner needs to learn how to make decisions without having all of the information. And if you've ever worked with an accountant or an engineer, or maybe you are one, you recognize that they need to have a lot of information, even more information and more information before they make one choice. And in that is a sense of paralysis. So men who are small business owners and litigation attorneys, these guys are used to making choices all day, making changes all day, settling cases all day based on limited information. And when you operate on limited information, you got to learn how to trust your instincts. And in the space of trusting instincts, there are times where you don't have all of the details, but there are opportunities and you get to penetrate them without full information. And in that penetration, there's massive risk. This is what makes the difference between the world leader and the guy who's talking about leading the world. Penetration is similar to what happens to our semen, our sperm, when we impregnate an egg and create a child. Think about that. Imagine you are a sperm amongst millions of others, and you're headed towards this egg. And some of the other spermites are going the wrong direction. They're lost and confused. They're listening to the wrong signals. But every moment you're paying attention, you're hearing the signs, you're listening, boom, you're close to the egg. And as you approach the egg, you recognize that entering this egg might actually destroy your life. You might die. You have no idea what will happen next because you've never entered an egg before. And so you, as a sperm, decide to take the ultimate leap of faith. You decide that you're going to penetrate the field of the unknown. And in this penetration, miraculous things happen. It is actually a form of death because you don't know what will happen next. And as a sperm, when you interact and you penetrate the egg, you literally and energetically die. And this death creates a new rebirth. It gives life to a child that is way greater than you as a sperm or even as an egg. But until you penetrated this thing, you would have never known that. And once you've penetrated, you recognize what you just created, a whole new world filled with new possibilities that you could not imagine. This is the same when it comes to your life's purpose. A man who's on his purpose has no clue what is about to happen next. And there are times on your mission that you will be faced with opportunities and circumstances that literally will end your life as you know it. This is called a paradigm shift. It's called an ego death. Many men try to preserve themselves in the field of uncertainty. Some take the leap. And it's only those who have taken the leap who recognize what's on the other side. This is a hero's journey. It's not meant for the faint of heart. This is a place where you don't know what will happen next. How willing are you to trust your intuition? How willing are you to act with courage and urgency? How willing are you to take the leap of faith, the bridge that reveals itself with every footstep? And it's men like that who will change the world. It's men like that who will change their families, heal the traumas. Men like that who let go of safety that actually conquer new lands. And it's in this moment where your parents' voices come into your ear, the people who say, don't do it, watch out, be careful. No, I wouldn't do it if I were you. And it's only after the moment of doing it that you recognize you're safe, you're more safe, you're more prosperous, you're more empowered. And the people who used to warn you, I've had this myself, the people who used to warn you against doing it will gather around you, they will clap, and then they will say, I knew you could do it. I believed in you. I knew you could do it this whole time. Thank you for doing it. Oh my God, you saved our life. This is a hero's journey. And in this field, we have the final stage. The final stage is commitment. And I'll share with you a story that might resonate with you. How many of you have dated a woman and you're like, she's great, she's got some great qualities, she might not be the best woman in the world, she's not bad. And only after you fully commit to her and you say, I'm in a committed relationship with you, do you then see all of the resources, all of the love, all of the sexiness that she can bring to the table? You see, with anything, when you are not committed, you will not reap the benefits of the full reward. When you're half committed, you get half rewarded. When you're fully committed, only then do you see all of the resources and prosperity of the universe. And here, your commitment is to God. It's to the field of possibility where you're able to navigate yourself and your life merely through a calling, a vision. And at every step, you're checking in with your intuition and you're moving forward in realms that most people are afraid to even ask about. And only when you penetrate and decide to commit to that path do you reap the rewards of what God has created for you. This is why purposefulness is not an easy feat. Everybody says, I want to be in purpose. I want to stand in my purpose. But how many people that you know are actually doing it? And I'm inviting you in. I'm asking you to realize that it's not an easy path, but it's the most prosperous path that you will ever experience. And on this path, sometimes you might wonder, do I give up? Do I let go? Is this too much? Is this not meant for me? And if you're watching this video, it's a sign. It's a sign that you get to continue to move forward. That there is no signal from your family and friends that is here to tell you that you're on the right path. That you get to trust your prayer, your intuition, and you get to listen and hear the signals when you've gotten rid of all of the clutter. And I'm with you on this journey. I'm a man of purpose myself, and there's not one day that I'm not absolutely scared. You call me any day of the week and you say, how you feeling? And one of those emotions will be, I'm so scared. And what I know about the emotion of scared is that it's actually optional. All of us can change the chapter. All of us can walk out of the room. All of us can get a job at McDonald's and stop being scared. But when you are scared, what you're really telling yourself is that I'm in a space of uncertainty. I don't know what's going to happen next. And let me tell you, in that very space is where possibility exists. If you ever want to leave the field of possibility, you can. Walk away, change the chapter, move on. But if you want to stay in that field of possibility and you want to work on your conviction and you believe that you were created as a human being to make a change in the world, in your family, in the field of business, I'm with you. This channel is made for you. So I'm asking you to subscribe, like this channel, leave a comment. Every comment you leave, the algorithm will push this video to 50 to 100 new people. And together, we're going to gather a band of men who are here to be in purpose. We're going to celebrate together. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like, give me a comment, and I will see you on our next video. Until then, don't give up. Stand in your purpose, own your courage, feel your feelings, and celebrate the entire time. This life is yours to have.